Okay, picking up from page 115 now, where we left off from before. All right, the best way to reduce the risk of a crash caused by drinking and driving is not to drive at all, all right, after drinking. In New Jersey, it is illegal for an individual to drive while under the influence of intoxicating liquor, narcotic, hallucinogenic, or habit-producing drugs, or with a BAC of 0.08% or higher. For individuals under 21, it is illegal to drive with a BAC of 0.01% or higher, which is any trace of alcohol in your system. All right, violators face severe penalties in addition to other penalties assessed. All right, remember the difference between DUI and DWI is that DWI means alcohol. Okay? If a motorist has reached a BAC of slightly above 0.05% after drinking, the risk of causing a motor vehicle crash doubles. The risk is 6 times as great or when driving with a BAC of 0.01%. And the risk is 25 times as great when driving with a BAC of 0.15%. All right, so obviously that means that you're the reason why the crash happened, right? So the more alcohol in your system, the more chance that there's going to be a crash. Okay. Here's the note. Under state law, refusal to take a breath test is illegal. Penalties include loss of driving privileges, referral to Intoxicated Driver Resource Center, fines, and installation of an ignition interlock device. Right? That's a breathalyzer hooked up to the electrical system of your car. Motorists who refuse to take a breath test in New Jersey are also subject to a violation surcharge. Failure to pay the surcharge will result in an indefinite suspension of driving privileges until the surcharge is paid. Right? So if you have any outstanding fines because of this and you don't pay them, all right, then you are not eligible to get your license back. And it's important to remember that it does not matter what alcoholic beverage is consumed. There is just as much alcohol in average beer as there is in the average drink of whiskey or wine. Right, so now it's going over the diagram from the previous page. For example, 1.5 ounces of 80 proof whiskey, 12 ounces of beer, or 5 ounces of wine all contain the same amount of alcohol, about 1/2 ounce of alcohol per drink. Studies show that most people arrested for drinking and driving have been drinking beer. All right, so now it gets into the filtering of it, not digestion, but filtering. Although food does slow the absorption of alcohol into the bloodstream, eating will not prevent a high BAC. All right, so this is on the following page now in 116. When steadily drinking large amounts. Heavy drinking will always produce a high BAC. Eating does not make a motorist sober. The best way to avoid drinking and driving is to arrange for a designated driver, use public transportation, or call a cab, right? Uber, Lyft, right? All those other things too. Okay? And again, like I said before, it takes about anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes for the average person to filter what's considered one alcoholic drink. All right? Now, law enforcement and how they can tell or they can see maybe something's going on with the driver. Changing of speeds, all right? So going too fast, speeding, or slow driving. So the changing of speeds there, or at the extremes. Weaving either within the lane or from lane to lane. Late reactions to things or early reactions to things, right? With quick stops or this jerking motion here. All right, so that those are all telltale signs that something's going on with that driver, and that's what they could be pulled over for, because all of those things are moving violations. Right, so primary offenses. Good hosts and the drinking driver, right, all the way down on page 116 now. All right, so again, you will host a party. Okay, the owner of the household could be held liable. Host may become involved in a lawsuit if a guest is involved in a drinking and driving crash after leaving the party. All right, and the same thing can happen with different, restaurants and bars too. There have been places in New Jersey that have lost their license or their liquor licenses because they served someone when they should not have been served, and when they left, they got in crashes and things like that. All right. Continuing on page 117. Right in this middle paragraph here, All right. So now we're talking about drugs, legal drugs, or even legal drugs that are prescribed. Drugs that may affect basic driving skills include cold pills, tranquilizers, and some prescription medications. Never mix drugs without seeking a medical professional about possible side effects and how the drug may affect driving. Alcohol should never be mixed with any drugs or medications. Right. In recent years, you've heard about people combining um, alcohol with sleeping pills. All right, and it'd basically magnifying the effect of both. Okay, and so guys like Heath Ledger was probably the one person that brought it to the forefront. All right, so when they called it that was an accidental overdose, where he combined alcohol with the sleep medication that he was taking at the time. Okay, and that's it. Okay, for chapter 6.